Hey guys, and welcome back to Through the Glass Table. I'm Everett Walker,
And I'm Ismael Bustamante.
and unfortunately today we're reviewing Fantastic Four.
Stop. We can't even do it. No, we can't do it, Everett.
This is gonna be a little bit different today because we don't really have anything to say about this movie because this movie is a failure on a catastrophic level that is unbelievable. I was taken aback
It's just,
by how terrible this movie was.
yeah, it's a big studio, Fox, and just it's such a letdown because like I was so interested in the first act, or at least like how they set the story, and then it just tumbles towards the ending of the second act, and then the beginning of the third is a totally different movie. I mean, the cast was fine. They're just kind of young and unknown actors.
Yeah.
Like still, I mean they've done some stuff.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan, Michael Teller.
Miles Teller.
I guess what they were trying to do was, if they're gonna reboot something, have a fresh start. Might as well use fresh faces, you know. But it just chemistry was there, but the storytelling messed it up.
As we were going along with this movie, we started realizing that there's something else going on with why this movie is so terrible. So we can easily just say, oh, this filmmaker didn't know what he was doing. This is a work of an amateur, but there's something else going on. So we'll run by the history of this production for you. So Fantastic Four is directed by Josh Trank. If you guys know Josh Trank, you know he directed Chronicle, which also starred Michael B. Jordan. I think it came out in 2012.
2012.
It was a very good movie.
I thought it was very good.
Yeah, it was a big hit. It was a movie kind of about superheroes. So, I'm pretty sure he got hired because of that. And so, you want to go with the rumors of what's going on?
Well, it's just, apparently there were some personality issues on set. Like, he was very hard to work with.
Showing up drunk out there.
Showing up a little inebriated and just becoming a nuisance throughout the production. I heard rumors also that it might have been because Fox was interrupting a lot, like throughout the production. They were trying to pick at his brain and telling him what to do, and he was probably just frustrated with them not letting him do the movie that he wanted to do, and it resulted in giving this scrappy one.
This is what we've been talking about. We talked about it with Ant-Man. This is what's going to happen in the future with these shared universes. These people only want shared universes now because of money, and they don't realize you have to make an interesting movie first before you start doing that. This is a prime example of what's going to happen in the future if people lose sight of actually making a good story and a movie, because this isn't even a movie. Like, there was a point.
It felt like a really long trailer.
Yeah, or a really long first act. Like, I remember we were watching it, and I said, this is actually not that bad. And then you said, dude, there's only like 20 minutes left in the movie. And I was like, this is still the first act.
Richard Reed's character, played by Michael Teller. No,
Miles Teller.
Jesus Christ.
The guy with the ugly face is Miles
Let's
Teller.
redo that. I like how they set the tone in this movie with kind of making it like a science fiction origin story with the character Richard Reed, played by Miles Teller. And it's just, he's kind of like fascinated with science, and he has just like this, instinctive spark about it.
We're not smart enough to know, but we heard that Josh Trank's inspiration for these movies was David Cronenberg's movies, like The Fly. And I saw a lot of that, like dark, grounded science fiction stuff going on in that first act, and it was kind of interesting to see if it had gone all the way through.
That's
like
true.
that.
It had that grotesque
Yeah,
feel.
there you go. That's a good.
It was kind of how, when they got these powers, they of course didn't know how to use them, and it's basically restructuring their anatomy and everything like that. So it's kind of gross. Like he's stretching, burning.
Those were the best parts of the movie.
Those were like, and if they kept that tone of that, it would have been a great movie.
And maybe not even 20 minutes before the ending, it totally turns into the Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Fantastic Four from 2007. It just becomes the most comic booky movie in the fucking
I was
world.
really waiting for the Galactus cloud to come.
Yeah,
Just like start devouring everyone.
But and then I kept telling you, watch her wig, watch her hair.
I didn't
Watch Kate Mara's hair, and what I was telling him that for was, there are scenes where Kate Mara's hair is obviously natural, and then there are scenes where it's a cheap ass motherfucking wig. And those scenes where it's a cheap ass motherfucking wig are reshoots by Fox.
They were done like 3 months ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. Whatever the movie was before, Fox meddled into it. Fox just needed it to be like the Avengers, because how are you gonna be able to do 17 sequels and an X-Men versus Fantastic Four versus Galactus sequel if it's just some weird David Cronenberg like movie?
At some point, you know, it's already looking like it's the end of their little golden age of superhero movies, because if critics are able to influence a movie's opening weekend status, then it just means that the audience are becoming more critical of it.
So, what would you give Fantastic Four?
Oh my god. I was really, you know, it has such a good potential to do something with it, but like the first act I think was on point, and then it just rapidly shifts. I gotta give it like a 1.5, man.
I'm gonna
out of 5.
I agree with you, but I gotta give it less than that.
Wow.
I'm gonna give Fantastic Four a 0
Wow.
out of 5 because this isn't a movie. This is an abortion.
This
It's a desperate attempt at salvaging something that probably would have been good. It's not a movie. Well, we can go on forever about this, but we won't. You guys, don't go see the movie. But thanks for watching again. If you would please subscribe and comment below, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.